In Hama, Syria, 16 wooden wheels still turn today. Some stand 20 meters tall. They have turned continuously for over 1,000 years. No engine, no electricity, no fuel of any kind. Each one lifts river water into elevated stone channels that carry the flow across the city and into surrounding cultivation zones, using nothing but the force of the river itself. Medieval Arab geographer al-Idrisi documented them in 1154. They were already old when he wrote about them. Today they still water fields, fill fountains, and supply households. Drop a comment. Have you ever seen a machine built to last 1,000 years? The Hama Norias aren't the oldest. They're just the most visible. Evidence of wooden water-lifting devices appears in Egyptian records from around 350 BCE. Greek engineer Philo of Byzantium described one in the 3rd century BCE. Roman writer Vitruvius documented the mechanics in detail around 25 BCE in his architectural treatise, De Architectura, one of the most studied engineering texts of the ancient world. What Vitruvius described was elegant in its simplicity. A large rotating frame mounted on a horizontal axle. Buckets or compartments attached around the rim. The structure positioned in a flowing river or canal. As current pushed the lower paddles, the frame turned. Compartments on the rising side scooped river water from below. On the descending side, they rose to the top of the arc. At the apex, gravity pulled the raised volume into a receiving channel. From there it flowed by natural grade into cultivation zones too high for direct river access. No fuel, no animal, no human effort required, just current. The Romans deployed this design across their empire. Spain, North Africa, the Levant. Wherever a river ran below a field that needed raising, the structure solved the problem. But the design that spread furthest and lasted longest wasn't Roman. It was older. The Sakia, an animal-powered lift using a horizontal gear turned by oxen or camels, appeared in Egypt around 200 BCE. It didn't need strong current. It didn't need a river with sufficient force. An ox walking in a circle drove a gear that turned the vertical lifting frame. That single adaptation made the mechanism work in low-flow conditions where current-powered installations couldn't function. Egypt adopted it immediately. It spread across North Africa within a generation. The Sakia transformed Egyptian agriculture in ways that outlasted the civilization that built it. Before its introduction, farming in Egypt was almost entirely dependent on annual Nile flooding. A brief window when the river overflowed its banks, deposited fertile silt, and retreated, leaving behind moist cultivated earth. Between floods, the land dried. Farmers had one reliable planting cycle per year. The Sakia changed that equation permanently. It could raise flow from the Nile continuously, not just during flood season. Suddenly, 2 or 3 harvests per year became possible on the same plot. Agricultural output across the Nile Delta multiplied. Oxford historian Andrew Wilson confirmed in 2012 that Sakia adoption in Ptolemaic Egypt between approximately 200 BCE and 30 BCE corresponded with a measurable increase in farmed land area and crop diversity. Greek papyrus records from the same period showed wealthy landowners purchasing multiple Sakias for single estates, the period's equivalent of expanding irrigation capacity. Before going further, hit subscribe if this kind of content matters to you. Ancient engineering, confirmed outcomes, mechanisms that lasted centuries. More is coming, and it's worth staying for. The Noria, the current power design requiring no animal, spread through the Islamic world between the 7th and 12th century CE. Syrian engineers refined it. Spanish engineers adopted it after the Moorish expansion. The Norias of Córdoba, confirmed in 10th century CE records, lifted river flow into elevated channels feeding the city's famous gardens and planting zones. Al-Andalus, Islamic Spain, maintained thousands of irrigation structures during its peak, many of them Noria fed. When Christian kingdoms reconquered the region in the 13th and 14th centuries, they kept the structures running. The design was too effective to abandon. Some Spanish installations functioned continuously from Moorish construction until the 20th century. Here's the complete mechanism. Broken down simply. No engineering degree required. A Noria is not a pump. It's not a mill wheel either. It's a frame that lifts water using nothing but the push of the current itself. A Noria is a vertical rotating frame, mounted on a fixed axle, positioned so its lower section sits in flowing river current. The current pushes against paddles on the submerged portion. That force rotates the frame. The rotation continues as long as the river flows. Around the rim, compartments are fixed, traditionally hollowed sections of bamboo, clay pots, or wooden boxes. Each one scoops a small volume as it passes through the submerged arc. The compartment rises with the frame's rotation. At the top of the arc, it tips. The raised volume pours into a fixed receiving trough positioned at frame height. That trough runs to wherever the output is needed, at natural grade, no additional energy required. The genius is the energy source. A flowing river is not depleted by a Noria the way a well is depleted by a pump. The river keeps flowing. The frame keeps rotating. The compartments keep filling and tipping. For as long as the current moves, the structure raises what it needs to raise. The largest Hama installations lift river water approximately 20 meters above the Orontes surface. That 20-meter elevation then drives the output through stone aqueducts across significant distances. The same gravity principle behind the Persian canot, applied here at a different scale. A single large Hama Noria can lift approximately 95 liters per revolution. Running continuously, that produces millions of liters daily, with no fuel cost, with no wear beyond wooden bearing surfaces requiring periodic replacement. Medieval Syrian maintenance logs recorded servicing schedules, frame components replaced on multi-year cycles. The installation required attention. It never required power. That distinction defined its 2,000-year operational record. Then the ultimate test came. The 16 Hama Norias still turning on the Orontes River aren't museum pieces. They're functional infrastructure. In 2011, when Syrian civil conflict disrupted modern utility networks across Hama, these installations kept moving. The river still flowed. The frame still rotated. Households and planting zones connected to the ancient aqueduct network continued receiving raised river flow during periods when electrically powered alternatives failed entirely. That resilience wasn't accidental. It was architectural. A design with no electrical component, no fuel dependency, and no single point of failure that stops everything doesn't collapse the way modern infrastructure collapses. One damaged Noria reduces output. The others keep going. Hama wasn't alone in figuring this out. In China, similar water-lifting frames called fan-ake appeared in Han Dynasty records around 200 CE. They spread across southern Chinese river systems, raising river flow into elevated paddy cultivation areas that canals alone couldn't reach. Chinese agricultural historians estimate that fan-ake adoption between 200 CE and 600 CE directly enabled the expansion of rice cultivation across the Yangtze River basin, one of the most consequential agricultural developments in human history. In the American Southwest, Spanish missionaries introduced Noria-derived lifting frames to California and New Mexico missions in the 18th century. Several functioned continuously at California missions until secularization in the 1830s. raising river flow into elevated gravity-fed garden systems that produced food for hundreds of residents. If a river or stream crosses your land, even a modest current, a correctly sized wooden rotating frame generates continuous elevation of river flow without fuel, without electricity, and without the operational cost that makes modern pumping prohibitive as energy prices keep rising. The river is already there. The energy is already moving. The rotating frame converts that energy directly into raised output. It has worked for 2,000 years. It still works today. Those 16 Hama installations survived a civil war. Electricity failures. Everything modern infrastructure couldn't handle. They kept going because the river kept flowing. They'll continue as long as it does. If moving water crosses your property, the energy to lift it is already there. Subscribe for more.